You're being treated tonight, 5:30 in the evening here in the Philippines, to a live broadcast on both channels tonight, giving you all an opportunity to maybe watch from a grumpy Brit in the Philippines, or also a British expat in the Philippines. So I welcome you all. We await your arrival, me and my bottle of Coke, and hopefully somebody will be able to join us. Oh, we have one on one and two on another. So welcome to those two that are looking. Cheers. Now, tonight is brought to you by my lower set of teeth, because unfortunately my top ones have a problem with a bit of bone that's growing, which will have to be sorted out this week, hopefully. More inconvenience, but nevertheless, it should be okay. Now, there's a lot of talk, a lot of conjecture, and a lot of ideas that are floating around with the new changes. Hello, Kevin, how are you? Good evening to you. Yes, so I'd like to actually, I suppose, address them to you, my viewers, and ask the question whether you accept the way the channel is going to have to move. In the Philippines, in their wisdom, they have decided as probably a knee-jerk reaction to our dear friend Vasali, who I understand has paid his bail and is now sitting in BI detention, awaiting possibly to go back to the other form of his detention, which was in a jail, if in fact the case is brought against him. Otherwise he's waiting for deportation. So not good for him either. Hello Ronnie, how are you? Ronnie Pinkerton. Oh, I think I know who it is. Hello, Ron. How are you? Hello, Victor Jesus. How are you today? Yes, now, there's a channel here that I watched later on this afternoon, and it actually goes through all of the legal aspects of the latest, we'll call it the white paper, because it's not actually, as I understand it, actually enforced right at this moment. I could be wrong, and I might well be, but if you're seeing my head go like that, it's because I'm looking at both channels. Maybe if I move each channel closer together, that's better. So I'm now looking at you both. The reason is there's a camera here, a camera there, and each one's to the same channel. Two different channels. Now, bloggers in the Philippines. Yes, there are law changes. Yes, they're possibly in the force right now. Who knows? Everything goes a little bit pear-shaped at the start here in the Philippines in relation to understanding the immediate reaction to a new law. Hello, Noreen, how are you? How are you? Now, the way I see it is there's two ways of looking at it. Freak out. We're all going to lose all the tourists here. People are going to say they don't want to come to the Philippines because you can't blog anymore. That's not true. Now, with all governments all around the world, they're always looking for this, money. Now, that I think is the reason behind all of this. It's not so much Vasali. He has highlighted it. Thank you, Vasali. Thank you for making life so much easier for us all. And there's another camp, the camp of the do-gooders, who say, oh, at last I'm going to be able to have my coffee without having a camera shone in my face showing me in some cafe in maybe Red Street with a woman that I maybe shouldn't be with, and my wife back home in America or Australia or England can now see what I was doing on my business trip. Well, sorry guys, it's a bit deeper than that. And that is that, think about this. You all know that I used to live in Nagillion. And every year there's a fantastic array of ceremonies, fiestas, held up there in Baguio. Baguio up there in the mountains, and I'm not sure what the region is called. I know it's not La Union, but nevertheless it's there. And the thing is that was timed out in Nightbot. Okay, right, I think that's not supposed to be on there. Anyway, back to what I'm saying is that, yes, in Baguio it's a place full of flavour of the ethnic roots of the northern part of the Philippines, the Ilocano, the tribesmen of Ilocano. And they have a wonderful procession, 1 or 2 times a year, I believe. I have attended a few, but I can't remember exactly when they were, but they walk around in basically almost loincloths, and the girls are traditionally scantily clothed, but in a respectful way. And they bang their drums and they do their certain step and walk, and it's really quite enchanting. And hundreds of thousands of people swarm into Baguio, tourists from all over the country, not just from overseas, to watch these processions. Now, if you think about it, you're not going to be filming yourself when you're filming these, we'll call them actors, going down, participants in the parade. Are we going to have to ask their permission to film them? Of course not. No one's going to complain, are they? And the same with, in a sense, with traditional religious processions. If you want to film, for instance, a wake, I understand you would have to seek the permission of the people attending, and certainly tell them when you're filming that you're doing it. Not for any legal reason, really. It's more a moral and a common sense politeness. But then, of course, you have market. Well, we want to stroll through the market. We want to show you how exciting some markets can be, how intriguing the people in the markets are, the different characters, the smiling faces, the hello Joe. Are we really going to continue doing that anymore? Hello Scott, how are you? Not yet. And where are we now? Flying Circus. Get a job. Well, thank you, Flying Circus. It always takes one to spoil the mix, so to speak. Anyway, you can remain there for the moment if that's what you're going to put there. Fine. Well, yes, you can get a job here in the Philippines. You can work online from an overseas company. There are regulations imposed on you by certain government departments, but again, it's always down to money. It's not always about taking a job away from a Filipino. It's about the purpose of your visa, the ability that the visa allows you to do it. Now, my understanding is that if you are on a visitor's visa, like a tourist visa, you are not permitted to continue working online. I might be wrong. Somebody out there might be able to tell me. But again, everybody must take these things as a pinch of salt. Because remember, you go to an immigration department or a government department, you ask a question from one person, you go down 3 cubicles down the road, and you'll find a different answer. It really is a case of the head doesn't know what the tail is doing. It's not a reflection on any kind of stupidity, it's just the fact that they find it difficult circumventing the rules that they're expected to adhere to. Good afternoon, John. Ted here from Bohol. I've never been to Bohol, but I understand it's a beautiful place, as does Terence. Terence and Beth, who have a channel there. I think it's called Foreigner Living in the Philippines. Great channel. I think I'm still subscribed to it, but I don't watch it that often. But back to what I'm talking about. Now, what we are on about is this new change coming about, is currently being shown on various channels around the Philippines and also from overseas. Hello, Stargazer. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. That's great to hear that. Gives you a lift. And I think we all need to calm down. Calm down. First of all, as I said, are they really going to level a prosecution against you? They're really going to take someone seriously that you film them in the market? Are we going to install a red light on top of our heads so that everybody knows we are filming with a sign saying red light filming now, like studio on? Do we wear a hazcam shirt saying we are blogging at this moment? Anybody wishing not to be photographed, please let the assistant know. I mean, let's take it to its extreme. Are we going to put masks on? Are we going to ask the local chemist to supply us with a box of face masks so we can dish them out in the market to those that don't want to be filmed? Of course not. This is all about money. Why I say that? Well, if you look at it carefully, yes, there's little rules, and a lot of them are common sense. You know, bureaucrats, no matter where they come from, can come up with some good, overreaching ideas. Sometimes they just don't think before they make the rules. I'm not suggesting that they haven't done now. Maybe they know something I don't. But the reality is that one has to remember that I've been looking at 5:30 for quite a long time. I think the clock has stopped. I'm not sure whether it tells me. Anyway, the point is that we have to use our common sense. You know, we have to be respectful to people, be polite. I mean, the other day I was in Manila and I filmed a guy selling peanuts, heated hot peanuts in a wok on the side of the road. And I went up to him before I started filming and I said, YouTube, it's okay to film? It's okay? Yes, he goes. And you can see him smiling. I doubt very much, unless he knows the law well, that he's going to touch me up for his privacy being invaded. Are we going to hand out disclaimer documents and get people to sign it and stick their ID on them? Of course we aren't. But we also have to use our common sense. We have to try and make sure that what we're doing is respectful. Most of all, that's what it's about. Now, no matter whether it's the Philippines, Bangladesh, India, China, anywhere where a third world country is, there's going to be poverty everywhere. There are going to be people who are putting their hands out, asking you for money. You are not even necessarily going to notice them. But when you're walking along, filming, talking to the camera, maybe saying how amazing people living in this kind of condition are able to still smile, still hold their lives together. And isn't this interesting, this food that they're recycling and recooking? It's information. It's information not just for you out there, but for others who are interested in what goes on in the Philippines. And I don't think that that's actually a bad thing for the Philippines to allow people to film, because after all, news channels do it. News channels will show hooligans. Yes, when it's a hooligan, they block out what's going on. I understand that. But they haven't been doing it always. There was a time, for instance, if you went to Italy and the mafia had to go at shooting somebody, the body was in the car and you could see all the gory details, and it was shown on the national news. Nothing was blocked out. But we live in a different world and we live in a different time. So we have to be aware that this is the way things are going to be. Now, if you read the documents and you read the legal side to it, you'll show that you can go and film these things. But the point is that you then will have to go through every single second of your video with an app that is capable of doing it, to block out the images of the face of everybody who's in the picture. Now, is that the image that the Philippines wants the world to see? A foreigner standing there, a Frenchman, an Englishman, an American, talking to a camera, and in the background a little kid comes past, oh, block his face out. Or do they want to see a happy little face smiling at you? Do they want to realize that even children can smile in the face of adversity? You know, I think that we're winding ourselves up in cotton wool. And the other thing that stands out to me quite prolifically, hello TV blog, how are you? Hi Idol. Idol. I realise you can't comment. Oh, why can't I comment? I saw that. I'm going to comment. Possibly I realise you can't comment. Let me have a look. Stargazer. Right. No, I will comment. You also seem very respectful towards Filipina, and I appreciate this. The shepherd's pie guy, can't remember the name of the channel, really ticks me off with the way he speaks to his partner. Shepherd's pie guy. Sorry, I'm not sure which one that, it could mean shepherd's pie. I'm not sure which one that is. I'm sure you'll have to maybe do it. I think your style of videos probably be unaffected by the reinforcement of what understands our already existing laws. Yeah, well, I'm hoping so. Yeah, so, I mean, those that know me, that we've been doing this for, I say we, Jen and I were, and now I'm doing it effectively. We used to walk around the market. I used to walk on my own. Sometimes I'd walk with her. She would be miles ahead of me doing her thing. But I still film. Everybody knew me. Everybody said hi to me. I don't actually ever recall a single person even going like that, except the woman I once referred to as the lady selling rice. But she was outside of the market. And it was only on that one occasion. So maybe she just felt like, I haven't put makeup on today, I don't want to be in the picture. Because she's fine with me anytime I've ever been there after that time. And I've laughed about the fact, I've said to her, I've said, oh, the lady didn't want to be filmed. I do apologise, but she said, that's okay. That's okay. And I think if you approach people like that, that's okay. I always ask people, is it okay to film? Okay? Yeah, it's okay. And then they might go like that. Because Filipinos generally like to be on camera. And one of my wish list was to go around Happy Land and just for my own sake to experience being in a slum area and seeing for myself and to share that moment with you as the viewer. Not to gawk, not to be a voyeurism event. It's just purely to show you the ingenuity that people will do and go to the lengths to build a roof over their head. We wouldn't call it a home. They do call it a home, and they make it home because that's all they had. And I did remember seeing a very good one done by an American guy who was staying in one of these high-rise hotels, not that far from Happy Land. And when he got there, he initially was accosted by a very nice young lad driving a electric motorized tricycle. And he got in him and he showed him all of the tourist spots. And one of them was going to Happy Land. And part of his video was this young lad whose family lived in Happy Land invited him to come into his home, his shack, his shanty. And he was almost like a superstar by his locals because he was bringing a foreigner in to share a moment in there. And the guy, the American, was very respectful, very thankful. Yeah. In fact, I think he gave the uncle $5,000 to fix the roof in there, which was a little bit shonky to say the least. And he was an amputee. I'm not sure there was a double, or certainly one leg was missing. And his mother popped up at one of the other venues, and he ended up giving him not only the money for the tour, he also gave him a 5,000 peso gift as well to help him, which I think if you're going to do that, that's another way of showing your respect to one, because the guy is going to have got hundreds of thousands of views from that. And yes, he might have made a few dollars out of it, not that much, because there's this idea that somehow you can live on the earnings of a YouTube channel. I mean, I think the most we've ever earned, and I'm not saying it like, oh, is that all? I was amazed. I think we made 12,000 in 1 month, peso. And I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the money goes to Jane's daughter, Giera, for her education. And by the way, she's about to become graduated this July 3, I think. So I hope everybody wishes her good luck. All of the money that British expat in the Philippines has earned has all gone to help support her through her education, and I can assure you, she's more than grateful for the support and help that you've given her, along with many of you who've sent amounts. I won't say large, but that doesn't matter. Any amount doesn't matter, but they sent it to the PayPal. PayPal me / John N. Childs, and it got there, and everything went to Giera. So she was more than happy. She was blown away, gobsmacked, I think I would use the word. And that's what it was going for. It wasn't going for any kind of commercial enterprise. But that's where I get back to it. If this wasn't about money, why is it that if you're not monetized, you're exempt from a lot of things? If you're monetized, then you must register your channel with the government here. If you're not monetized, you don't have to. Defeats their object, I think. And that's where I think the problem lies. I think that what they're doing, they're reminding people in a very subtle way, the old stick and carrot. You can't behave like Vitali. Fair enough, and I think all of you would agree. You can't have punch-ups in Dumagetti, or Dramagetti as we call it. Not a good look. You can't go around abusing shop owners because they will get offended and you will have to pay for their turning of a blind eye. And after all, money talks here. But just remember, it's so easy to offend a person here. Your own wife can be offended by something you might have said or done. So you have to be so very careful. Nata Annie. It's me, Anna. I have just seen you. Hello, how are you? Now, while you're online, Anna, Ian, living in the Philippines, pointed this out. Maybe a mistake by you and maybe you did it. Maybe when you come to change it, it should be the other way around or the other part. Now, think about this. This is just for Anna, right? Anna, you should have, when you put down Nate Anna Filipina American, Nate is not Filipina. So Nate should have been American. Anna should have been Filipina. So if you get what I mean, if you want to put Nate as the start of your title, it should have read Nata Anna American Filipina. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not picking, it was just a thought that was passed on to my dear learned friend Ian. And I think you stick to what you want. But now everybody knows where it is. And yes, I have found you and I'm subscribed to you. Journey in Bahol. Yes, John. Enforcement will be the whole other story. Oh, Journeys in Bahol. Right, now Journeys in Bahol. Come on, guys, you're part of the family here. You go out and you go and have a look at Journeys in Bahol. Watch the latest video, give them a thumbs up and press the notification button. Why? Because it helps us. You're not having to pay anything. It's all free. And I'm sure Journeys in Bahol will love you. Same as Jason Blogs, same thing. They say it will be 50,000 fine if someone blog. Right. Yes, ran into Terence a few times. Yes, everyone, John's keeping well. Ted here, right. Okay, I think I've caught up. Now don't forget to do the same for Valmarez channel. Oh, this is a shout-out channel. Yep, Valmarez channel. Check that one out. I have a feeling that the new law is aimed at bloggers uploading images of nightlife zone. I think you might be right there, John. Coconut guy, hope all is well. Just don't be a jerk to locals. Follow blurring standards and follow reasonable expectations of privacy. Yes. What is a good visa to use in the Philippines if you're married to a Filipina? Well, there you are, John. You've just answered the question. If you're married to a Filipina, the cheapest one, not necessarily the best, but the cheapest one is a 13A. Pretty easy to get hold of. Watching from Batangas. Oh, I know where that is. Yes. Valmarez channel. Don't forget to go out and do that. And Jason Blogs again. I'm in Batangas as well. Oh, no, you're not. Paul, Philippines. Hi from Dramagetti. Soon to be back in Bristol, UK. Unfortunately, back to Pines in 7 weeks. Unfortunately, back to Pines in 7 weeks. Let me read that again, Paul. Hi from Dramagetti. Soon to be back in Bristol, UK. Unfortunately, back to Pines in 7 weeks. You mean fortunately, not unfortunately, I think. Where is Batangas, Sir Jason? I think it's below Manila, if I'm right. Rodney Stewart, or I call him Rod Stewart, from Cooper Pedy, the land of living underground. Bunker busters to get you out, Rodney. How's life in Cooper Pedy at the moment? I hope so. Jason says Balayan. Balayan. And we'll go over to Stargazer. Speaking of Asia, Stargazer, I think that the name of his channel, he begins every video with AA, Shepherd's Pie. Oh, okay. I think we'll have a look at that one. Yes, so I think it's about money. I think, yes, there's an element of reminding people of respect, because really anybody who lives here understands where I'm coming from. They understand because they've been there, they're doing it every day. And that is that you have to be respectful to people. It reminds me of a time when I went into San Fernando, into the department store in CSI Mall. And I was looking for a pair of what the family called rubbers. In other words, jogging shoes. I think they were Nike brand. And they were in a box, and they had a sale on at the time. And the box said, reduced 60%. And I thought, wow, that's good. I'll buy those. They got my size, yes, sir. So she went out. Very nice young lady. She went out and got the size, brought them back. Same box, reduced 60% written on the end. Well, of course, I then went to the checkout to pay for them. And the lady said, right, it's like normally 6,900 pesos, which shows that they were pretty well genuine, I would say. And I was expecting to pay about 1,200 pesos, which I thought was, well, that's pretty good. So I went to get my 1,200 out of my wallet, and the lady said, 6,700 pesos, sir. And I go, no, sorry, it's reduced 60%. Oh, wait a minute, sir. She called the assistant over. She had a look. Sure enough, it said reduced 60%. So they went, called somebody on a phone, and they didn't appear. But I was told by the cashier that there'd been a mistake on the labeling. Very convenient. Now, thinking with a Western mind, I thought, hang on, but that's the price that they're advertised as. It's their fault, not mine. Well, my partner at the time, Jane, turned around to remind me that maybe we had to pay the full price. And I thought, no, I'm not going to pay the full. But then Jane pointed out to me that if we had pushed the point, that young girl would have probably inevitably lost her job. Why, you might say? Well, we're in the Philippines, and saving face and all those things come into it. And the reality is, if the person working for a company makes a mistake, that person pays the price, not the customer. I could have maybe got them for 1,200, but it wasn't worth the losing of the job by the young girl. When I say young girl, she could have been maybe 18, but she might have been 25. Who knows? But it just highlights how easy it is to maybe make a mistake culturally and also understand how the system works. It's a very responsible job being a cashier. After all, it's the final point where the goods go out the door and the person collects the money for the owner, which in turn pays the salary of the person selling them. And therefore, having a job as a cashier, in the West, for instance, if you're $20 out in your float, sure, the supervisor might say, well, how did you manage to be $20 out? And the cashier might even turn around and say, well, look, you can take it out of my salary. And what's $20 relative to their whole salary? But over here, if there's a shortfall, they have to make it up. Doesn't matter whether it's a government department or otherwise. They have to make that money up. It's money that they're given the responsibility of collecting, and therefore it's their responsibility. It's something very strange for us to deal with, but that's the way life is here. Right, now let's go back to a few lookings here. Right, now here we are. I think we've caught up. Wow, you know CSI also, sir? Yes, I do. Living in Papanga, right. My birthplace, Jason, well, actually, about Balmos channel, there's actually a CSI opened up in Negillion. Very good shopping there because you don't have to go to San Fernando to do it anymore. My birthplace, Jason, is Pangasinan. Right, I've traveled through there many, many times, and only last week. If you don't intend to live in the Philippines, don't. You'll still get a balikbayan visa if you arrive with a Filipino wife, 1 year's entry. That's true. Yes, if you're coming in, you're like an accompanying wife, spouse, but you'll still be then on effectively like a tourist visa. You're Filipino, Sir Jason. Paul, I'm going to back home for a short break and returning to Sikwa in 7 weeks, hoping weather is okay in August as the habitat season. Yes, it is. Very wet. Valmarez, I was living in Angeles but moved to Batangas 3 weeks ago. I'm British from England. Oh, jolly good show. Hello, Jason. Now there you are. Jason, as in Jason Donovan. No, he's Australian. Valmarez channel. Wow. Jason Valmarez. Yes. Valmarez channel. Are you YouTube also, Sir Jason? I can't connect. I don't have moderator. Moderator? You don't need a moderator. You got a finger, haven't you? You just use a. If I want to block you, I can block you. So you don't really need a moderator. You can. It's a good idea. And people that I get used to seeing on the channel, I'm happy for them to become a moderator. I think Ian is one. There's a few others, I think. I think MJ is one. MJ and Venus. And I think maybe Fred is, just to name a few. But yes, so, wow, you travel already in Pangasinan. Well, actually, Maurice, if you lived up that way, you know where I am. I'm in Ballywag. I'm currently in Ballywag. I'm in a place called San Rafael, which is I suppose we'd call it a suburb of Ballywag proper. And for me to go back to Negillion, as an example, I have to travel to Dau. You would know where Dau is, DAU. It's a major bus hub, and it's pretty close to Papanga, and it heads off towards. I know all the names when I see them pop up, but I forget straight away. But anyway, it goes up north. It goes up through. Yeah, it goes through Pangasinan. Definitely goes through Pangasinan. It goes through. It also goes through Agoo. Goes through Rosales. It goes through Bawong. And if I get off in Bawong, I can go to Negillion. If I stay on, it will work its way to San Fernando. Beyond that, it will go to San Juan, up towards Lawog, and also Vegan. And it even goes way, way up the top. So yes, I'm very much, there are a lot of beaches up there. I have filmed, if you look back in some of my videos, on days where I maybe was a little bored, I went to San Juan and sat on the beach for many hours. It's very nice to sit there and I think I had a coffee at one of the beachside hotels on the waterfront near, again, no, I can't remember it. It's a very nice hotel along there. It's in San Juan itself, proper. No, not proper, but in the San Juan area where the main beach area is and a lot of the food outlet. In fact, San Juan has changed so much. it's almost become like a surfer's paradise compared to, as in Queensland, compared to what it used to be 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm only a learner. Um, that's all right. I don't take it serious. I've done some short videos in Patangas. Well, that's all right. No problem. We all learn. I mean, my biggest one. Did I miss out? There you are. Here we are on Grumpy Brit. Our friend Ian, living in the Philippines, has just joined us. No, you haven't missed that much. Just all of it so far, Ian. And I hope you've enjoyed your day out. We've been watching you on Facebook live, you and your wife, celebrating your 18th wedding anniversary. Wow. And as I said to you, who deserves the medal, you or Marlene? Right. Wow, a lot, yes. So, yes, I think that we just need to calm down, cool down. You know, I can't imagine that you're going to start seeing me go through markets, only showing you the food as I go around and up to the top of their head. That part's missing. Shall I start doing it like that? Will you be aware that when I'm filming people, I only go to there? I'll tell you why, because my friend Ian told me that it's in something cut. I can't remember. Cat cut is a editing tool, and I downloaded it again today, and I have not found it easy so far to even try to block out one face. What happens if you've got a dozen faces? And the trouble with me is that I film myself going along like this. I go along like this. And here, and then somebody walks past me in the background. The problem with that is that, do I then have to just have my face as the part showing, and everybody else that walks past me is going to be misted out? Have I got to spend hours upon hours monitoring? Do you really think that Filipinos will do the same thing? I don't think so. Arch Nicole was hidden by Ian. Right. Thank you, Archie Nicole. Whatever you must have said, Ian is one of my moderators, so that's probably why you've done it. Will be for Facebook and TikTok. Right. It might. Yes, it will be on all of them. Yeah, you know, the world is changing. It's just getting crazy. We're going to have just pictures of me. Now, make sure that that little lizard that's going up the wall has got a mask on, because it'll save me blocking him out. I mean, God, like everybody says, how are they going to police this? Is they going to have a massive team here in the Philippines and everywhere else in the world just going through dozens and dozens of videos? Are they going to employ millions of dollars to have videos that block people out? Wouldn't it be easier? Would it not be easier for YouTube to have that as a instant press a button? You know, like you can put down monetized, you can put down super chats. Why not just have a little button you can press that blocks everybody's faces out automatically on every video? After all, they always check your videos before you put them up anyway. Wouldn't that be easier? Then the problem solved. But remember, this is about money. And you may end up saying, I don't mind paying a small amount of money to use YouTube and to have that facility available. There you are, YouTube, if you're listening, and no doubt your massive computers will be. Maybe you should come up, your WizKids should come up with an app that we can just press the button on Studio, and it automatically does it. So in other words, the image there behind of my back, of my head, is now blocked out. Oh dear. The world has gone crazy for sure. Yes, Nasota is a nice place. Right. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, but that's okay. Stargazer, it sounds like another way to extort money. Well, I think that's what it is, Stargazer. I think it's all about money. We're living, after all, we're living in a world. Someone's got to pay for these bunker bombs. Someone's got to pay for, was it 3.5% of your national gross national product or something? Um, This is what's happened in the world. We are paying for security. We are paying for all the nutters. We're paying for all the wannabe dictators around the world. We're paying to protect our innocence, to protect our country, to protect our everything. Trying to protect our intellectual property rights, trying to protect people's privacy. You know, my goodness. Anyway, what I will say is that I will be filming lots of bush, lots of flowers, lots of trees, and I will be mooing and baaing and quacking and to the chickens for their permission to film them too. And so you'll see lots of ducks, lots of chickens, lots of mud, lots of leaves, and lots of open fields while I talk, so that you have a little bit of variation to what you see behind me right now. And if I were sitting in the Gillian, you'd just be hearing those that walk past saying, "Hi, John. Hi, Norman." But I might have to block them out, their own privacy, their voice being done there. Oh, hello, Ian. Ian's over here too now. Did I miss anything? Yes, while you're on the other side, you're here. Briella May Abano. Hi. Magandang Gabi. I was about to say something. Right. While we're on here, we have an American. We do. And if you watched a few of my videos this morning, you'll see me calling out for Corin. Now, Corin is a very Filipino-looking lady, beautiful. She's mature. She might think she's an old bag. She's not. She's beautiful. We crossed swords at one point with our dear friend Mike, Philippine Journey, who just suggested that I rubbished Corin once, which is not true. He obviously got the message wrong because I was actually sticking up for her. She had a wonderful channel. She started off at the age, I believe, 3 or 5 years of age when she went to America with her mother and her father, and her father returned back to the Philippines. I believe the father's passed away, sadly. But she's in real estate. She's done many things. She's attractive. She's very clever. She's a Filipino after all. And she's decided to start a channel. Well, she did. Unbeknown to me, she started another one. I wasn't aware there was a second one. But I've been following her over the years that she's been doing it. And as she said to me in a video comment this morning, it was one of her blonde moments, like I called her. Maybe she was a blonde that morning. But what she's managed to do is delete both channels. So you know what it's like when you delete a channel or you've been pulled down. Oh my God, what's happened? And sadly, she's in that position. I think she's managed to, maybe she's got a few channels uploads on her phone or somewhere she's found that she's able to add some little bits in. But she's currently got 3 videos up. And one of them explains what she's gone through. Last time I looked, I think she had 11 or 12 subscribers, and she'd had about 3,000 views plus. Why? She used to get 35,000 per views on her channel before. Exactly. You guys, if you have been following her and you didn't know where she's gone, I'll leave a link. I have left a link on British Expat. I'll do it on Grumpy as well. And that way you can find her. And please support her, because she had a blonde moment, and we can't blame her because she's a Filipina, tongue-in-cheek. But she has something to offer. She has an insight that many of you just don't understand. You can't understand it when you watch beautiful Filipinas here, as bright as they might be and how sexy they might be. And Corinne's still sexy. She's still bright. But unfortunately, just like us, she's getting older. But she's wise as well. She's got a great sense of humor. She's American at heart, even though she's got the heart of a Filipina. She's definitely worth watching. And I don't care if you dump me for her, because she's prettier than I am. And the thing is that she needs that little bit of a boost to her ego, to her enthusiasm. Don't let her disappear. She can't go. She's a real asset here. She's the number 2 behind Filipina P. Filipina P is very commercial, great channel. But I would say that my 3 biggest channels here, sorry Ian, sorry to those that have got other channels, my number 1, I recognize as number 1, is Filipina P. Doesn't mean I think everything she does is great. Just means I recognize her as the number 1 channel here in the Philippines, presenting as a Filipina, talking about issues that she believes you'll be interested in. Number 2, and I really put it at the same level, completely different genre, My Philippine Dream. It's James and Ness. And if you really want to understand why I say that, go back to the oldest video and watch them forward. It will take you a while, but boy oh boy, they are really worth watching. They give you an insight to American here in the Philippines, a very smart man, a lovely wife. Sure, they got money, but that's not the reason that I watch them. James is a really good guy. He's got a kind heart, very generous, and he's very bright, very intelligent, and he's got some great ideas. And it's not all about spending money. It just gives you a food for thought so much. And of course, the third one is, what was the third one? I've done this before. I've gone and lost the third one. There was a third one. Which one was it? Yeah, no, it's not mine. Filipina P, PI Dream. And the third one will be, that's right, the third one will be, that's what I was meaning, will be Corin. And that is Filipina Unfiltered Life. Filipina Unfiltered Life. I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, Corin, I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, the link will be in the description so you guys can see it. And again, I'm not saying this to dispel my reputation as an American hater. Shh, don't tell that to those that are watching. They might get offended. But never mind. Right, I'm leaving if you have American on your chat. Oh, Jason, no, she's beautiful. Where are we? A twit in the Philippines. Where is this hotel? Where is this hotel? Which hotel is that? Were we talking about a hotel? Maybe we're talking about a twit in the Philippines. John is sitting in the dining room of the house he lives. Where is this hotel? Oh, right. Thank you, Ian. You see, you're ahead of me. That's good to have a moderator in there that understands the craziness of me. And yeah, so what else can I talk about? We're almost at that 1 hour point, and I know that I don't want to bore you too long, but that's mainly my message, is that we all got to stay calm, use our nodding, use this, and don't be scared to do videos of interest. Like I said, how do you film a fiesta? How do you film a procession? How do you film a market? You know, really, come on. I don't think anybody's really going to bring a case against you about a market. And I think, if anything, you should be given the opportunity, if somebody does object, that you just simply don't include that person in the video when you upload it. You know, you can block somebody out, and if there's a piece missing in your words because you've had to block that bit out, just put it on as a subtitle on the bottom of the picture, so people will get the drift of what you're talking about. And it's just going to make us look at doing it in a slightly different way. I don't think it's going to affect the likes of Anna, really. I don't think it's going to affect myself or Ian. But we have to be careful. Like I say, I'll take a bag of face masks with me, and I'll have a handful of disclaimer documents for them to sign, and a photocopier to copy their IDs, so that I know who has said they don't want to be in my video. That again is tongue-in-cheek, guys. Tongue-in-cheek for Filipinos, if you want to know what that means, it means charot. I'm joking. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming along tonight, and I do appreciate all of you. Never ever eat a snail. I don't think that's the same. I don't think French people would say that. Oh, no, here we are. There's a few comments here, Judge. Peter Blue was hidden. Right, okay. Well, obviously Peter Blue. I'm not sure who he was. Thank you anyway, Ian. What's your thoughts on an American guy who looks like Fred Flintstone? My thoughts. I think he already knows what my thoughts are. My thoughts is, I think he's one flew over the cuckoo's nest. I think that's what brings my thoughts to my mind. And he needs to elevate his face downwards, because talking like that all the time does look a bit stupid. But he's gone a bit silent at the moment, so I don't know what he's up to. But yes, so I don't know really what's going on with him. But anyway, and like I say to Robert about sick grandpa, that was the one. He has not posted anything in the last 2 weeks. That's right, he hasn't. So, guys, don't forget, we're not monitorized, and therefore I will have to put down my PayPal, because that's the only way you can give me a generous donation for the colossal costs it costs me to sit here in the dining room drinking my 22 peso bottle of Coke to present an hour online on YouTube. And we're almost there. We've only got 28 seconds to go. So guys, I'll blow you all a kiss. I'm sorry I can't show you the top half, but like I said, I've got to have a few stitches done in it tomorrow, maybe the next day, whenever they have an appointment for me. And then I'll be able to put my top in again and look like Mr. Ed the horse. But they do take a little while to get used to. I'm still finding it difficult to eat with both of them in, or even with one of them in, it's not so bad, but two of them still feel like I'm trying to eat with 2 plastic spoons in my mouth, which, if you could imagine, doesn't taste very good and also feels a bit weird. But then some people say I am a bit weird. So anyway, guys, love you all. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you, Ian, for being my moderator again. And I've seen Sick Grandpa and Angeles laugh out loud. Yes, probably with one of his male friends. Oh no, he only has them in Thailand, I understand. Bye, everybody, as Ian would say, and I say, never chatted to him. Well, he's probably at a 5-star hotel, having his 5-star meal. So guys, toodaloo, bye-bye, catch you later. Don't forget to check out Coram. Bye now. Somewhere there. Bye-bye to you, and as I say, oops, bye-bye to you too.